Hello, welcome to Sunday Vibes. It's Divine Cuppa with the Divine Ladies. Welcome to this Sunday, and I did have my cuppa, but the dogs took it as two, so it is what it is. Welcome to our Divine Cuppa today. Got a great subject to talk about. I'm Susie Wellstead, emotional wellbeing coach and author of You Are Enough. And I'm just going to let Denise introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Denise Mustard, an emotional fitness coach and founder of Vibrate Higher, co-founder. I always say that wrong.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Vanessa?
Hi, greetings. I'm Vanessa. I'm a lifestyle coach for mums, helping women to help yourself. And yes, I'm the co-founder of the Vibrate Higher. We're all the co-founders, really. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful day outside and fantastic to be with my divine.
Is somebody frozen?
I think it might be
Is
you,
it me?
Susie. Yes. I'll carry on.
I will probably be frozen for a while, like in and out on the road.
Okay, so I'm going to carry on.
Okay.
So today's session, as you know, if you've been one of our many followers, thank you so much for leaving comments and giving us so much positive feedback. What we've been doing is running through the slides from our first workshop, which was healing the chaos and confusion. Now what we're doing is we're moving on to that emotional section of the workshop. So it's fantastic that we have Denise and Susie as our resident emotional fitness coaches with us. So I'm going to hand it over. I don't know who's ready to just speak about where we are in terms of how we deal with our emotions through these crazy times.
Let's just go for it. Okay, as emotional fitness goes, me and Denise, we guide our clients to let go of what's holding on, what they are holding on to. And sometimes the biggest thing I believe I found in the last year is the resistance for change. And it just means that it's something that we don't like. We've not been, a lot of people have not been brought up to embrace change. They've been brought up to be scared of change. And what happens when you get in that scarcity mindset is that you're afraid you're going to lose something, and nobody seems to look at the opportunities that you will or may gain. You know, I've always said since the pandemic, the biggest virus we have is anxiety and fear, and that's up tenfold at the minute. And that's where people are really suffering with their mental health and emotional well-being. Yeah, I'm talking about letting go, but I can hear the dog's quite distressed, so I'm going to just shoot off. Denise, if you can just...
Yeah, I mean, for me, healing the chaos and confusion at the moment is something every week, every day brings its challenges, and the restrictions, the perceived restrictions or things that feel like they're coming to us. This time is really, on the slide, it's taught me how to surrender. So not worry about the lack of, because we're essentially free, and we have to just keep bringing ourselves back to that. We are free, and because that lack of freedom, the restrictions could cause a lot of fear and anxiety as well. I know at the beginning of the lockdown, the fact that the army were brought into London triggered me massively. I was like, oh. So people will be experiencing that, and especially now where there is a bit more movement, the people will be scared to move around, right? So yeah, we're working through. We need to be aware of what it is that we're emotionally need to work through, because sometimes our egos will tell us that a lot of these fears and emotions are justified, warranted. It's like, oh well, I'm scared because blah blah blah. but actually you need to create awareness to them, because they don't need to be there. How do you feel about that, Vanessa?
Yeah, that's fantastic, Denise. I mean, I'm just going to base this on my own experience. What I want to say to start is, for those who don't know, I mean, I don't feel like this anymore, but there is an expression about, how do you know that you're in a prison? So you're in the prison of your mind, but you don't know it. Okay, so I feel like I'm working through that. And it's interesting that we've put this slide up today, and the word surrender is something that you spoke about in April, Denise, because on Friday, when I did my devotion in the morning, which is my journaling work, and I actually used sage that morning, and just sort of like cleared some energies around me. I actually wrote the word surrender in capital letters in my journal. So I did whatever I was doing. I was like, I surrender. And then, as my divine sisters know, I've been a very, very creative, in a very creative mood over the last 3 days, because it only took, I'm going to say, about an hour after my journaling that I went upstairs and I was with my offspring, so my little toddler and one of my grandbabies. And a song came to me, and I just thought it was like me just messing about. Anyway, as you know, that song has actually turned into a full song, and I'm so happy with it. And over the last 2 days, well, yesterday I wrote another 2 songs. This morning I've started working on my 4th song. So just that word, so powerful, surrender. I don't really feel like I've got any anxiety. And greetings, Layla, great to see you. So I don't feel like I've got any anxiety or anything like that, but I definitely know that going back into my creativity is helping me stay on a very high emotional scale. So I'm just loving it. But greetings, Layla. We're literally just talking about where we are in terms of emotions.
Well, that's a good topic. That's a juicy one. That could be a bit of a roller coaster in itself, isn't it? It's a good question, actually. I don't know. I feel okay, and then I don't know. I think I mentioned to you guys, sometimes I get these patches of, oh, what's the point in it all? I don't know. And then you find something fun, and you're like, oh, I'm back again. I'm back. And it's like, oh, I don't get what the point of it is. Oh yeah, this is fun. So that's me.
But remember, I mean, obviously we speak every week, and as you all know, at the beginning of the week, the words I was using was like exhausted. My energy was so low. So I know that there's been a shift in the planet. Some of you may know much more than me on that, but I know something happened on an energetic level, and I definitely know that I had an impact from that, but I feel it's leaving me now.
Yeah, I think we need to be aware of what a lot of those sort of the energies that are going around, awareness to, it goes back to awareness all the time, right? Awareness to how you are feeling in the space, and surrender is just a way of being aware and not fighting it, not resisting it, not trying to change the way you feel, just being with it and just letting it pass. I think when we try and fight it, try and rationalize it, it's the logical mind, the mindset, that's what the interference is. And living as a soul being, you can't fight it. It is what it is. You can't question it. So I think that's important to reiterate, that this is part of the journey of life. Is just, I think if you were to do nothing, lots of things would happen versus doing something. But at the same time, action is important.
I agree. Oh, sorry, Vanessa.
Oh,
No,
no,
go ahead.
Carry on.
No, I was just going to say, I think what Denise has touched on there is true, as in what I was saying, we have natural cycles, which, if we tune into, these can be our own cycles, planetary cycles, energetic, seasonal, there's so many patterns which are sort of rolling out around us. And again, it does come to awareness and tuning into what's happening. But yeah, also what Denise was saying there, I think was touching on the difference between forcing something and allowing it to unfold organically. It's in letting go of the control of wanting it to be in a specific way and seeing where, you know, the flow and the energy and what comes in to align and to, you know, sort of take that forward. So it's in that allowing, it's being open to the signs that may appear or the people, you know, that may present and being able to pick up on those opportunities as well. So it all comes back to awareness. Thank you, Denise.
I love it how we are all talking, consciously talking about being aware, because awareness is key. And like you said, Layla, life is like an emotional roller coaster at times, but it's an experience for us to all to experience it. And there's no good or bad. It's an experience that you've got to go through, even when we have those doubt moments. What am I going to grow and learn from this? But it takes time. It takes another way of thinking, I guess. And also, Vanessa, when you talk about how creative you've become with singing, thinking it was just one of those things, isn't it great that you've used your vulnerability at that time to create something which is awesome? And that's what I'm saying, that is missing out. We have so many vulnerabilities right now. Let's create something out of that vulnerability rather than think of it as a hole that you're going to seep in and can't get out. And it is the case of just shifting your awareness to how you are feeling in the moment. I think feelings and emotions are massive. We have to remember we're not our emotions. They come and leave our body within 90 seconds. It's the stories and the memories that we hold on to that cause the most pain and suffering. And yeah, if we could just, you know, change that, just the little tweak of thinking, okay, I'm feeling really vulnerable. What can I create out of this? Could it just be a poem, or could it be that I'm in awe of what I've just realized?
Thank you, Susie. I love that. So there was a couple of things that came to me when you were all speaking. And one of them has been about how much focus I've been putting to meditation, because I wanted to ask you all about your own emotional work and what you actually do on a daily basis. So meditation has been a massive part of what I've been doing. Journaling, as I said, is something that I've been doing anyway for a long time. But yeah, just wanted to get some feedback from you all about what is the emotional work that you do that maybe our listeners could benefit from hearing, please.
And from my point of view, on a personal level, I used to do a lot of emotional work daily, especially through the start of the pandemic. It would be daily for hours.
Can you say that again, please, Denise? Because I didn't hear that, so I don't know if anybody else did that. Heard that.
Okay, I was just saying that on a personal level, the emotional work that I used to do was daily, for hours on end, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. And now I create awareness to myself all the time, and I can shift through things without actually having to sit down and meditate. And I feel like I'm more open to seeing what comes through as a vessel for creativity without having to go into meditation. I will sometimes if I want to get more information, but I feel like the less I try with that sort of thing, because I'm open and in essence not thinking, I'm just like la la la, then I get more things coming in. But when it comes to dealing with clients, because they get so, and this is what I'm starting to see now, as much as people do the emotional work and they understand it, they do not feel like powerful beings on a day-to-day basis. They will do a session, they'll feel like, oh, I need a session, and then they'll do a session and be like, oh yeah, I feel much better. And it's like, well, hang on, you can be that all the time. You just have to believe in your power. And I think that's where my next program will actually be teaching people how to do that, because I feel like a lot of people don't at all.
Thanks, Denise. Yeah, for me, one of my big things is it's funny, you know, you're talking about the singing, Vanessa, because music plays a big part in my life, you know, to put on a song and just dance it out, or just, you know, to listen and really immerse yourself into it, into the words, into the feeling, into that is a massive boost for me. You know, music plays a massive role in my life. Other practices I do is I like to connect to the sun when it's there, you know, have just a connection in the sun as much as possible. And very much like Denise says, you know, I do have a meditation practice, but it is something more that I carry with me throughout the day. And the way I do that is by having a focus on my breath as well, and where it's traveling to in my body, sort of just as part of everyday conversation. So it becomes that everything is a meditation in a sense, going for a walk, you know, sensing into how I'm reacting or responding to what's going on around me. And I feel it more in tune with myself for doing that. I also do, I mentioned to you guys, I like to have my conversations with the trees and things. And for me, it's a massive boost in the sense that the love I give comes back to me tenfold or sort of multiplied in enormity. So that's my experience. Thank you.
I guess when I think about it, I've always struggled to meditate. I've always been like a bit of an overthinker, but I get a lot of satisfaction out of pause moments, where I have a pause moment, bring myself back to where I am. I also think writing's really good as well. You know, I obviously spoke about an emotional dump by dumping 3 pages full of whatever's in your head, and there's going to be a couple of sentences that are going to be inspiring for you. Again, with walking, like you said, Layla, I think that's really good. And just moving your energy out of your body is always good. But I don't tend to stick to the same thing. I kind of like to have a pick and mix of what I believe is going to work for me. And, you know, the biggest thing for me is having a pup that's bringing me greater awareness of what's happening around me and within me. So I think we're using things here in the here and now. But like Denise said, I think clients are really struggling to trust in themselves and believe in themselves. And I think this goes back to your very core beliefs and how the foundation is of how you were brought up. There's a lot of things coming up for people, but it is okay where you are. You can just start. But I think there's, again, a lot of overwhelm and anxiety because people are inundated with so much information. And we're teaching people that by click, 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 you can do XXX, but the click, click, click is causing more anxiety because they want quick fixes.
Thank you. That was amazing. So I just want to go back and talk about the dancing and how powerful it is. Layla knows at the beginning of the year, I was again feeling really low emotionally through other events that had happened. And the way out of that was through dance. Hugging trees. I haven't hugged a tree for ages. So thank you, Layla. Actually, when I was running with my friend, we made a point of, like, when we took our little break, to just go and hug a tree and get that energy, and also show our gratitude to the trees for, you know, what they do for us. And what I want to say about standing in your power with songs, if you can get into the habit of singing, even if it's somebody else's song, even if it's a tune that's coming your own head, then actually singing can help you to boost your confidence. So for me, as you know, I'm writing these songs, and I even said to Mark, do you know what? These songs are for me. Obviously, I do want to share them, but I'm glad Layla said for me. You know, I am looking for musicians, actually. So if there's anybody in the Nottingham area who plays bass, guitar, and drums, I really do want to put them down properly, musically. But this morning, part of my meditation was just listening to my own voice with the song. So what I would like to share is singing really helps. Singing and dancing really, really helps. So yeah, we can all do our emotional work in so many different ways. Right then, my lovelies, we've been on the line for about 20 minutes or so. Denise, did you want to say something before we close off?
No, it's just about what you were just saying about the energies, and because I've been trying to put down our emotional fitness membership together today, and it's really teaching about how there's different ways of working through the energies, and just normalizing it so that people actually will wake up and go, okay, I'm going to do some energy work. What shall I do? Will it be a bit of Reiki? Will it be some sound? Will it be some movement? Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's the lifestyle, right? What foods am I putting in? How am I gonna, what colors of food? What do I feel like I need to work on? Like, just really being in tune with your body, as opposed to what a lot of people are. They're emotionally disconnected. They're disconnected from the earth. They're disconnected from everything. And these practices are good, but sometimes we can do things going through the motion without actually connecting with what we're doing. So really, what is important is to really establish that connection, as opposed to doing things mindlessly. Like when I used to do personal training, there was people that would like do squats 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you just know, and they were like, oh, that was easy. Like, and because they were doing it fast and they were doing it, they felt like they'd done it. And it's like, you haven't even done one proper squat, let alone 100. Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't a conscious movement there. It was all just, their legs collapsing and then their legs coming back up. Do you know what I mean? So just being conscious, aware is the key, again, to everything. I'm just bringing it back to that. Because for me, like song music, I'm a bit disconnected. So, you're singing, I can appreciate it, but I'm just like, so there's a disconnection there for sure. And I like I said, I appreciate it, and I like music. Like I quite happily drive, do anything with no music. Just an empty head. I like that. I don't know. So I guess it depends on what it is that what resonates with you as well. That's all I wanted to say.
So yes, we all must do things that feel good. It's all about coming from the feelings first. So just to let our viewers know that, again, in terms of our emotions, I feel that working together as a sisterhood has really helped in the last 2-3 days, because as we know, but the viewers may not know unless they're on our mailing list yet, we had a setback on Friday, which meant we had to make a decision to postpone our second workshop. So the second workshop hasn't been recorded yet. If you are interested in that, we will still be promoting it. It's called Enslavement and Entrapment. There's still opportunities for you to be on that live recording with us. We haven't reformed a new date yet because it's dependent on other situations that are outside our control. But please stay tuned and we will keep you updated. So we have been here talking about emotions. We're going to carry on talking about emotions for the next maybe 3 or 4 Divine Cuppas, because as you know, we're working through the slides. If you have any comments or any thoughts that you want to share with us, you can put them on the YouTube page, or you can put them in the Telegram group. You will have links to both of those things. And what I want to say is, if you've been following what we're doing and you're not yet on the mailing list, then please get on the mailing list. We have some fantastic resources for you to start working through your own journey. So this is the journey of stepping into your sovereignty, standing in your power, living as a divine being, divine soul being, and we're here for you. And yesterday we had a little catch up, and we've got so many plans in the pipework, which of course we're not going to reveal them at the moment. Just keep staying in tune with us and we will tell you more. So that's it, my sisters. Thank you so much. We're back in our little inner circle planning on Tuesday night for part. We're working on workshop 3, even though we've got to record workshop 2, but we're working on the next one. So yeah, final thoughts for our viewers, please.
I just wanted to ask Vanessa, have you been singing your song in your head while you've been doing this? Because I've been seeing you swaying. It's like you got the music going on in your head. She's singing her song to herself, isn't she?
I think in some, do you know what? You probably picked that up on the energy. I think in some parts when you were talking, others were talking, I was. Plus, I'm standing here in bare feet, and I've been in the garden with bare feet as well. So again, we know what that does for us energetically. But yeah.
Just my final message is just create awareness and just write down what it is that you are feeling on a day-to-day basis. So what it is, and then what you want to create. And if you start practicing that, you can actually find that you're creating lots of different things or whatever you want. And it's that practice that you can build on.
I wanted to say as well, we'll put the link in for your emotional fitness on Facebook, what you do. Susie does those wonderful posts. So I'll put the link into YouTube. And again, if you're watching this,
Susie runs a group.
Yeah, do you want to just tell us about that,
I was just saying, Susie runs a group.
Yeah, it's emotional fitness, and I go on live guiding people just to let go. And I just go through the process of what I believe is the best thing for you to do, which is bring the emotion with you that you want to let go of. Number 2, allow yourself to sit with it. And number 3, just release whatever comes up for you, you know, because it's the way forward. And what I love about it is very here and now. So it's what you're feeling in the now, which is so important. Once you give that the awareness, and the acknowledgement, the emotion can just go like that. And some of the biggest emotions I found is that once you let go of that sensation within your body, you'll stop those thoughts and that creating thinking habit. But also saying that, I love how you said about singing, Vanessa. I remember joining a choir a few years back. Obviously, it stopped with the pandemic, but I really did love that vibe. I went to Hyde Park in London and sang with a group. So I think singing and dancing is really, really worth it. And if you've never had a go, just get on YouTube and check out some dancing or singing and just do it, because it's so good. It really is a great way to release energy that may be stuck and stagnated in your body. But until next week, stay safe.
Fantastic. Love to you all. Bye-bye.